Up everybody. The rules here. A lot of people disagree with me because they got an impression that I'm Gaddafi supporter. And this is not exactly what did I just said. I just said that after I researching on Gaddafi, because before that I just didn't know much about him. But after researching a little bit of him, I got an impression that he used to be a bad dude, okay? Back in the 70s and the 80s he was a bad dude, he was a terrorist. And then he changed his mind and he stopped all these terroristic acts. He stopped supporting Osama bin Laden. He gave money back and repatriation to all these Jews who he made suffer back in the day. But he decided not to do it for Jews who live in Israel. Then he decided to disarm his nuclear weapons because he believes that nuclear weapons shouldn't be used. So he started doing the right thing, okay? But here's what I think was fucked up is why all these motherfuckers decided to take the rebellion after Gaddafi started doing the right things. Why couldn't they do it earlier when he was a bad dude, you know? That's the thing. So before jumping to conclusions, you better off learn what I gotta say. So the thing with Gaddafi makes me think about what's better, dictatorship or democracy. As I was saying in my previous video that democracy is not the best system. Even though everybody says democracy, United States, freedoms and all that bullshit. I don't think it's the best because democracy has disadvantages. And I gave the example of President Obama who thinks that marijuana should be legalized. And there are a lot of people out there think the same way, but in the US marijuana is still illegal only because of the stupid ass old farts who sit in the Congress, who don't know shit, who got all the social myths from all the stupid ass motherfuckers that marijuana is a drug, therefore it's bad. You know, since they're majority, they still have a power. But you know, here's the thing, that majority is not always right. And if Obama would have more power, and he will know what's the right thing, he wouldn't need to like listen to Congress and all these motherfuckers who just, you know what, I know what's the right things to do, let's just legalize marijuana, fuck it, I have no time for bullshit, that's it. But since he is limited by Congress and all these motherfuckers, he cannot do shit about it. Even though he knows what's the right thing to do. And that's why we cannot blame president for everything, because it's not just a president, it's president, Congress and all other people. So when we say that president is fucked up, you know what? You cannot blame one person for everything in this democratic system, because one person cannot do shit. Because one person is nothing. Even a president is nothing. He's just a puppet. But you know what means it's like majority, Congress, you know, that's what rules the country. But if the president is in the minority, his last word don't count. Okay? And that's fucked up, that's why I don't like democracy as much. But dictatorship has another evil. Yes, on one hand there is one person in power, and if somebody don't like what he is doing, he can fuck everybody up. He has like military and support from other people, whatever. And if there is a right and he has a power, nothing can be done. He has power, make his own decisions. But at the same time, the minus about dictatorship is that dictators have a right to abuse people. And that's fucked up. That's the only reason why I don't like dictatorship either. Because dictators, they can abuse people. You know, if you said something wrong, they can kill you. If dictator, for example, is Islamic person, he can impose the Islam on people who don't agree with Islam, and he can persecute people if they don't agree with his views. And people live in fear, and they are not happy, you know, because here's the thing about fear. If there is a little bit of fear, you know, in moderate quantities, fear can motivate you and can protect you. But if it's a lot of fear, and only all your mind is on fear, you know, you live in fear, fear paralyzes you, and then everything goes fucked up. And you know, that's why I'm saying that democracy and dictatorship, they're like two sides. the two extremes. It's like democracy, it's like very hot, dictatorship, it's like very cold. When it's hot as hell, it's very bad. When it's cold as fuck, it's very bad. And truth is in the middle. So, I think the best system is the following. When president has power, but there are laws which not let the president to abuse the system. So on one hand, president has an ability to make his own decisions and stay in power. You don't have to put up with Congress. And yet, there is supposed to be some controls which don't let the president abuse the power. And that's, I think, would be the best system, really. Because on one hand, if that would be the case, the president cannot really abuse people for stupid shit like smoking weed or talking shit about the president. Even though if I would be a president, I would still punish the motherfuckers, because I don't want anybody to talk shit about me if I'm in power. But yet, I probably wouldn't kill people for talking shit about me. I would probably humiliate the motherfuckers and make them feel like shit. But I wouldn't kill the motherfuckers. But I still don't want to hear anybody talking shit about me if I'm in power. So I can understand that. But at the same time, imposing views is fucked up too. Let's say I'm agnostic or atheist. I'm not gonna, for example, tell all the Christians they shouldn't believe in Christ. I wouldn't persecute Muslims or Christian or Jewish, religious Jews, okay? I wouldn't do that shit. It's bad when dictator imposes his views, and if you don't think like him, it's persecuted. But at the same time, if in democracy, if the person who is in power doesn't have enough power, he has limited right to do the right thing, even though in his mind he can potentially do it, but it's also all these motherfuckers who stand in his way. That's fucked up too, because the president cannot do the right things because of the Congress, all these motherfuckers. So that's why democracy is fucked up too, as well as dictatorship. And we need to come up with a system which will not be perfect, but which will be like here in the middle, between these two extremes. One is democracy, another one is dictatorship. And a system which will allow more justice, which will allow the person in power enjoy his power, but at the same time it will allow people to have freedoms, and which will protect people from that person who is in power. Meaning that which will let people to make their own choices. So let the ruler rule the country, but don't let the ruler go into the private lives of people. And this is what we need to do, That's the bottom line. Alright, check out my official website, crazyrussian86.blogspot.com, and subscribe to my YouTube channel The Rules. Feel free to leave the comment or video response to my video and let me know what you think. All the best to you guys. Peace out. Later. And remember, I know that what I'm saying is not absolute truth and there is always room for misinterpretation. But if you don't like what I'm saying, feel free to tell me that, and I will have intelligent discussions with you.